We've all been impacted by those who dedicate their lives to high school kids. Teachers, coaches, game changers. Jeff Hulse has been an inspiration in softball circles for the way he overcame adversity and made winning a tradition that never graduates. Faith meant family and was never far away.
So you grew up the son of a preacher. Kids can go either way with that. They can rebel or kind of follow the family lead. How'd you handle that?
I had great leadership, very Christian background with the family, and we would do things right, and it was easy. It was an easy path to follow. I never had a hard decision to make in regards to whether or not it was right or wrong.
Being in the ministry is a little bit like being in the military in that you can move around, and your family did move from Oklahoma to Emporia at a pretty impressionable time for you. Was that a difficult transition to start over in a new town, new state?
I look back and I don't think it was, because I don't remember that it was. It was never a hardship. Great family support, and I always seemed to make friends easily. And I was very involved in school and athletics in Oklahoma, in Lawton. And then that just transferred to Emporia, and I was well received by school friends.
Ended up having a hunting accident when you were 13 and you lost an arm. What point did you decide that was not going to be a limitation, that you were going to be able to do everything you wanted to? Probably
within the first couple days of realizing that I'd lost my arm, that it had been amputated. I came out of surgery, and every time I went into surgery, it was going to be a suspect whether or not I could keep the arm, because it had infection, and it was really about that. And so when it was amputated, it was a life-changing moment, and I was very worried about whether or not I would fit in and whether I'd still be able to do athletics, because that's what I enjoyed doing. And once again, I had a great peer group that was very positive and encouraging, great family support, and you can go either way. You can be a negative and pity pot, or you can accept the challenge and try to overcome.
You really had an amazing legacy coaching softball here. National Coach of the Year in 2013. You used to coach girls basketball here, still coach girls tennis. What is it about coaching teenage girls that's been a good fit for you? You've made it work.
I've had the best of all the worlds, because I've coached the boys as well as the girls, and I've had great experiences and been very rewarding. The girls here, in terms of my fit with basketball, and back when I coached basketball, and now with tennis and softball, the girls are very team orientated, and I'm a very team orientated person, and I think a lot of that comes from having had people around me as a team to encourage me. And I think I then now, in turn, have that positive spirit that I try to coach the girls. And they thrive on each other. They play for each other. We're family-like, and that's a very important thing. And girls cherish that. They like that.
Craig Taylor, the athletic director here, said that what sets you apart in his mind is the way you're able to connect with kids, and not the athletes, but just any student walking down the hall, that you would do anything for them. Was there somebody early in your teaching career that you really saw the way that they were able to build this relationship and a trust, and you wanted to be that guy someday?
There are people that were very influential in my life that when I was younger, during a difficult time when I lost my arm in the hunting accident. And then they continued to be mentors, and we continued that relationship. Ron Slaymaker at Emporia was one of those guys that made a difference. Lee Barron, who is the Recreation Commission director, who also gave me my first job, was also a former minor league baseball player. And he was one of those guys that tried to help me overcome adversity in terms of being one-handed. Those guys really made an impact on my life, and I have had many other people that have done the same. I think everybody has some type of disability, whether it be in their personality or whether it be their hearing or their vision, or they might be small, they might be big. Everybody has something that they have to overcome. Maybe they're not a good reader. Maybe they just don't relate well. I think it's important to be there for people and to help them find that person in them that makes them special.
Tradition never graduates. Sometimes the mottos that go on a t-shirt, and silly, I love that one. Do you get ninth graders that saw their big sister play and they've been dying for the day that they could put on that hawk, and then they get to the senior year, couldn't wait? Do you get that sense that the tradition means a lot to these kids?
It does, and there's a given with that to keep the tradition going. And the seniors this year came up with that concept because we have 8 seniors. And so they want to make sure when they leave and graduate and move on, that they leave a legacy that the other kids understand that needs to continue. Just like when they came in, they had example by the older kids, and it's something that we live. It's something that we believe in. And they make their mark. They leave something for the future for us. They're seniors giving back. They're teaching skills out there to younger kids. That's pretty cool.
Your student athletes always stay the same age. They're always 15, 16, 17, 18. You get older, but in a sense you don't, because the kids are the same. Does that keep you young?
Yeah, the kids keep you young. They really do. I mean, there's times I get tired, but so do they, working hard. And it's a different tired. But yeah, I think part of what we do, because I enjoy it so much, we enjoy it so much, I think that gets you up. It keeps you going. It's fun. It's a good thing. It keeps you young.
You've been doing this for a while. You're getting to that point in your career where whether you want to hear people ask the question or not, it's going to be coming. Coach, I've got a 7th grader. Are you going to be coaching in a couple of years when they get to school? Are you going to be there when they're a senior? Do you play that game in your mind, how long you want to do it before you spend more times with grandkids?
It's the biggest compliment you could ever get. People wanting to know, are you going to be there? Are you going to coach my kid? I mean, that's a pretty huge compliment that they would entrust their kids, to you. So it's a very complimentary thing. I don't take it as a negative at all. There'll be a time when somebody else is going to take over, but tradition never graduates, even as a coach.
When you have a day where you're away from school, not thinking about the kids or softball, what's the perfect day to go spend time with your bride, or just get away from it and relax and let Jeff Hulse do his thing?
I have a better half that's amazing and been very supportive all my life. And she's been a part of that support group in my life. Whether it's helping me through adversity, being one-handed. I used to watch her play softball. That's where all this started. She was a fast pitch softball player. And that was my first exposure, was her playing, and it was fun. And she's my better half, and we do so much together, and love her so much. And I look forward to when we have that time. If we're not teaching and coaching, or she's not teaching, because she's the teacher in the family, she's really good, then we go play golf together, and she's my best friend.